Wandering Winder here, continuing my look at openings in Dominion. Today we're going to look at Nomad Camp. Pretty simple card, gives you 2 money and a buy. It's a terminal. But the important thing for the openings is that it is gained to the top of your deck, not your discard pile, but the top of your deck, which allows you to make some slightly different plays when it comes to the opening. The first and most notable thing is turn 1 Nomad Camp on the 4-3 exactly. Now, if I back up a second here, when I buy this, I don't know the order of these 5 cards, but I do know that they are 3 coppers and 2 estates. So there's 2 possibilities. Either an estate is on the bottom, in which case I will have Nomad Camp, 3 coppers, and an estate after buying Nomad Camp next turn. Then I'll hit 5 on turn 2 from this 4-3 opening. Note 4-3 exactly, not 3-4, but 4-3. So that gives me a chance to hit 5 if that happens. Or as you saw, there's a copper on bottom is the other option, or the other, it's not really an option, the other possibility, in which case you're going to hit 4 again. Now, this is actually, I'm going to get on a little soapbox here because as someone who deals with statistics all the time, and not just in Dominion, people talk about, oh, well, there's 2 possibilities, therefore it's 50-50. But that's just wrong. Um, so it's either copper or estate, but it's more likely, of course, to be a copper on the bottom because you have 3 coppers and only 2 estates. So it's 60-40. You are more likely than not going to hit 4 on turn 2 if you open Nomad Camp on turn 1 rather than hitting 5. So it's 60% to hit 4, 40% to hit 5. Now, 40% chance to hit 5 is a 40% chance to hit 5. We want to look at both cases though. So if we miss, then again we have a couple of options, right? Well, actually we have a lot of options, and depending on the board we may have really a lot of options. But in general, right, always available if we've done this and missed is going to be Silver and Nomad Camp. If we go for Nomad Camp again, then we have an 80, just over 80.4% chance to hit 5 on turns 3 and 4. If at this point I stop and go Nomad Camp, and I hit 5 here, right? Oh, I have Nomad Camp. This is assuming I'm not going to buy a further Nomad Camp down the line. So yeah, it's, you know, a reasonably decent chance, but not over the moon, and worse than if you would have opened silver, right? So that's something to keep in mind. However, it is also worth noting that you have 18.4% chance to hit 5 twice, as we see could have happened here if we would have had another copper in this hand, right? So it's a kind of a classic problem with terminals. You open 2 terminals and they can collide. This is a little bit of a higher chance, a better opening than opening double terminal silver in general. Like if you'd open double swindler or double fortune teller or something. I don't know why you'd do that, or double improve maybe. This is a little bit better chance of hitting your price points than that would have been, but it's not that dissimilar. However, what you probably don't want to do is buy this Nomad Camp on turn 2. If you instead just buy a silver here, having missed, now, well, okay, in this case we hit 7, but the math says that overall you are 90.7% to hit 7 and 15.9% to hit 7 to hit 5, 15.9% to hit 5 twice, 42.7% to hit 6, Very similar. It's slightly different, but extremely similar to if you would have just opened silver silver. So if you want to go for the risk playoff of the turn one Nomad camp, and then missing out on hitting five on turn two, you hedge with a silver, then you are not very far behind. You're in a very, very similar position to if you would have just opened silver silver instead of the Nomad camp. With the big difference, of course, being that you have a Nomad camp in your deck instead of a silver, which comes with, it's good if you want to use the buys, but it's bad in that you have an extra terminal. And so if you want to pick up more terminals, terminal collision can be an issue for you. So that's always the thing you have to weigh. If I'm gunning for witch here, then having the Nomad camp in my deck is maybe not as good as having a silver. You have to think about all of these kinds of things. So that's the main issues with opening Nomad camp on the 4-3 on turn one. I guess you should also note. Let me summarize that this part of it. It can be an okay play if if what you're looking to do is hit a five and there isn't some particularly good option. Because it's not great. You probably won't hit five, and then silver silver is not a great opening. So it's an okay opening if you're just trying to spike five on turn two, and you'll take a silver otherwise. Where it can be a fairly good opening is if there are uh, kind of spammable two costs that you want. So we've got a rat catcher here, but if you would have supplies, arrays, or various other two costs, such that if you miss, instead of buying silver, I have something better than silver to get. Maybe even settlers would incentivize this a little bit. But I go double rat catcher here, and I'm not too unhappy that I missed hitting five because I can also be thinning, right? Or whatever. In this particular board, you're probably pretty happy to get two fool's golds too. But I digress. There is another issue in dealing with Nomad Camp in the opening, besides just going for turn one Nomad Camp to try to spike a five, and that is if you have, instead of 4-3, if you have a 3-4. So if you have a 3-4, you can open silver and then Nomad Camp. And in this case, it's a little bit better than just opening silver silver in that you know that one of your silvers, in this case the Nomad Camp, is going to be something you see on turn three and is not going to miss the shuffle. So in this case, you're a little bit more likely to hit five, 95.5%, right? You've got a few percentage points there compared to silver silver. And you are a little bit more likely to hit five twice, 17.9%, right? You've got several percentage points more. Those are small improvements, but not absolutely nothing compared to silver silver. Again, you have to weigh whether the cost or benefit is worth having the Nomad camp in your deck, the plus buy, the terminal aspect of it. And I think a lot of cases the terminal space is quite precious and not worth it, but you obviously have to make that judgment on a board by board basis. So you're getting several percentage points from opening silver Nomad camp on turn two. You also have a bit better chance of hitting six, right? You go up to 52.4%. So that's probably the biggest improvement. But yeah, you get just kind of several percentage points over opening silver silver if you go silver Nomad camp. But that's not a big deal, and usually I think outweighed by the terminal aspect. The turn one Nomad camp to try to hit five tends to be more important, and yeah, that often comes down to, is there something else available that's good? If so, go for that. And or is there a good spammable two that I can grab if I miss five, in which case turn 1 Nomad Camp starts to look quite appealing. Yeah, a longer one of the openings for such a simple card, longer one of the videos, I should say. But hopefully you've learned and or enjoyed from it or use the proper words and prepositions and all of that. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.